If cancer is something negative in terms of reproduction and survival, and it is, then why is cancer still around? If someone gets cancer, then it could, in fact, on average, it probably would, reduce their overall reproductive output. Even if cancer hits after the reproductive time in life is over, it would still be an incredibly difficult thing to go through. But since cancer is sometimes fatal, families that are genetically predisposed to the disease would, on average, have less kin support when it comes to raising their young. And this would likely result in lower overall reproductive fitness. So, if families with these variant carcinogenic alleles have lower average reproductive fitness, then wouldn't cancer be selected against? Well, let's take a look. So you would think that people without the genetic variants that are associated with cancer, that they would on average reproduce more than people who do have those variant alleles, and over time, the variant carcinogenic cancer-causing alleles would disappear from the population. That would make sense. And yet, cancer is still pretty common. This is a question that a number of research studies have tried to tackle. Could it be that having one of these variant alleles actually makes you more reproductive earlier in life? Because if that was the case, then it might explain why cancer persists in human populations. This would be a case of what we call an antagonistic pleiotropy. An antagonistic pleiotropy is a type of trade-off where there's a positive thing that's offset by a negative thing. Antagonistic means in opposition. Pleio means many, and tropy means transformation. So it's like there are many versions or transformations of something, and those versions are in opposition with one another. An antagonistic pleiotropy occurs generally when there's a variant allele that results in an increased fitness during one stage of life, but results in a reduced fitness at a later stage in life. The variant alleles that are associated with cancer would fit this description, but only if they convey some type of reproductive advantage earlier in life. Now, to date, there have only been a few studies that have really looked at this. In one study, researchers found that cisgender women in families with a documented BRCA1 or BRCA2 variant allele tended to have more children than women from families without a documented BRCA1 or BRCA2 variant allele. So, antagonistic pleiotropy. If you have the variant alleles, then you might have more offspring, but you might develop cancer and die prematurely. One criticism of this study was that it lumped all of the cisgender women in a given family into the same category, whereas it could be that only some of the cisgender women in a given family actually had the variant allele. Other cisgender women in a family might have the non-variant allele if one of the parents was heterozygous for the BRCA1 or BRCA2 gene. Another study drilled down on this a little bit more. They used a completely different data set. And rather than lumping families into single categories, they looked within families where there were variant BRCA alleles. Not all cisgender women in these families had the variant alleles. And what they found was that cisgender women with a variant BRCA1 or BRCA2 allele still had more children on average. So that's that. The BRCA variant alleles are bad because they lead to higher cancer rates, but they're also good because they help facilitate higher fertility rates. Antagonistic pleiotropy, case closed. Well, it turns out the story isn't quite so simple. results from other studies have instead found that there's no reproductive benefit associated with variant BRCA alleles. Some of these studies use different measures for reproductive success. For example, one study found that the mean number of spontaneous abortions didn't change, regardless of what BRCA alleles a cisgendered woman had. There was another study that more or less uncovered the same finding, but with different data. Still another study looking at different data altogether found that there was actually no difference at all in the number of children between those who carried a variant BRCA allele and those who didn't carry a variant BRCA allele. So, which is it? Is the impact of variant BRCA1 and BRCA2 alleles an example of antagonistic pleiotropy, or is it just straight up a negative thing? It just carries a drawback of a higher chance of developing cancer. Well, the answer is that we don't really know, at least not at this point in time. And that's one of the reasons why I love biology. It's a discipline that's full of mysteries and puzzles. Oftentimes, things actually aren't simple and straightforward. For more information on the genetics and the cell biology of breast cancer, be sure to check out the other videos in this series. And you can always visit our website at www.evo-ed.org for teaching and learning materials, as well as other resources. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.